So I'm Kyra from Heavy Mag here today with Brandon from metalcore giants Atreyu. So how are you doing today, man?
I like that intro. I'm doing very well.
Had to be done. So Atreyu were really busy in 2023. You released 2 EPs and a full-length album, which is a mammoth undertaking. Why did you guys decide to release so much material in that time frame?
I mean, I think initially it came from, obviously we were in the studio making an album, and it came from our desire to want to sort of like figure out a new method of release where more of the material, more of the songs actually got like their day in the sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like this day and age, most people don't have more than 4.5 seconds of an attention span.
Yeah.
So you get, the songs that are, the money behind, or the singles, or the ones that have videos, get their kind of light shined on them. And then there's 7 songs that just hide in the dark for eternity.
Yeah.
We're not a band that believes in the concept of like B-sides or like filler. So it's like we really put everything we have into every song that gets released. So trying to figure out a way to kind of shine more of a light on more of the material. And then in doing so, it was like, well, we don't just want to release EPs for the sake of releasing EPs. Yeah. So we wanted to get to the sense, and the concept sort of just fell in our laps because conceptually, like the subject matter in the songs kind of kept repeating itself, and the songs were lending themselves to this sort of like life cycle of like the kind of human condition and the different emotions and different kind of like phases of life. And it was like each kind of go through the low, the middle, and the high that you kind of feel as a human being, and then it starts over again, much as it does in real life. So it kind of, that once that fell in our lap, it made sense that that's how we wanted to do it, and it was fun. It was like a cool, interesting experiment for us, and I think it kept the listener and kept our fans kind of excited because you were getting new music like every few months,
Yeah, true, very true.
Well, so it was fun.
Yeah, like I'm following on from that. I watched a YouTube session that you guys did, and Porter explained the EP as musical tappers, which is this like beautiful and fully comprehensive analogy that'll stick in my head for a long time, because it does kind of feel like you get to taste all the flavors and then it comes together at the end. Do you feel the same? Like, is that how you would kind of explain the experience?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. It's like you get the time to like fully experience the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like a 10, 11, 12 song album is kind of too much for people these days.
Yeah.
For a lot of, like the average listener is not hanging on for that long. I still love listening to an album. I love buying vinyl. Like I can still sit and experience that, but a lot of people can't. So when you give someone, 4 songs at a time, it like gives you the opportunity to really like I said, like focus on every song and like really dig in. And it's like it is like tapas. It's like you really get to savor and enjoy each step of the meal rather than just someone setting like, a 12-ounce steak on your on the plate with a baked potato and veggies, and you're so full and you don't know what to do. It's too much food. Yeah. So it really is. That's it. Porter was spot on with the musical tapas.
Yeah, that was cool. That definitely, it just they explained it so well. That's something that'll stick in my head when I see these EPs forever now.
I feel like I just want to somehow only describe everything about our band for the rest of time in food analogies.
Yeah,
so I'm going to do my best to keep on that.
Look, that's easier for me to understand. I think that's something that everyone will kind of get on board with. And there's so much room for merchandise there. Atreyu snacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you guys are hitting our Aussie shores in a few weeks, actually, for the first time since 2020 with Bad Love on your We Want Your Skulls tour. What's something unique to Australia that you're excited to do?
Everything.
We
love Australia. So I've said this before, like without exaggerating, Australia is like number one for our whole band. Like we all get so excited every time we get to go, and it's like vacation for us. So we just kind of happen to also play shows. We've brought in our families to Australia. We've brought in our wives to Australia. Like we love it so much. So we're just like stoked. It's been too long. Like 2020 is ages ago. So for us, like we've been trying to get back for 2 years now.
Yeah, right.
Like it was literally one of the first conversations where I was like, okay, like the world's opening their doors. Let's start talking about tour. And we're like, cool, Australia first? Yeah. We go to Australia? And for us too, like it was a good closer. Like for that to be the last tour that we did for like 2 years.
Yeah.
like at least it was great. At least it was Australia, you know.
Yeah,
like, it was,
cool.
we had to go out on a high.
Yeah, and on a good note.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, jumping over to The Beautiful Duck of Life, which is aptly named by your clever little daughter, I might add, who may be or may not be in the car with you right now.
She's sitting behind me, yeah.
Awesome, well done. This album is epic. Like, each song has its place and it absolutely slaps. Tell me a little bit about the album. Like, what does it mean to you?
I mean, it was kind of a very cool, like, I think that in the last couple of years, the band became like a bit of therapy for all of us.
Yep.
I think for the first time, like, all of us were really, like, talking to each other about how we felt. And, like, it wasn't like, because the role, like, the kind of, like, lyrical role and sort of, like, everyone's role got elevated. And it really forced us to kind of sit down and, like, we've always been there for each other and been, like, friends for each other, but it really, like, kind of opened us up to eeach other a lot more. And we really kind of, you know, without sounding like cheesy, like kind of bared our souls to each other. And there was no, like, I think a lot of us before now kept a lot of our personal stuff to our chest and like maybe didn't share everything that was going on in our lives. And we really kind of started to and just kind of like opened up about how we were doing and how we were feeling. And it changed everything within the band. It changed how we felt about writing music. It changed how confident we were in each other and writing and everything. So I think that this record specifically is kind of like held in like a high regard to all of us because it's, I think, one of the more personal things we've ever done as a collective, you know? And it's to this day, like our band operates on a higher level because just on a personal level, like we're all, that door opened and it made a huge difference in the life of our band.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And you can see just in your later videos like today that you guys just spew positivity and growth together. I can see you all bouncing off each other. And I suppose that back when you guys first started out, it wasn't that mentality to be able to spew your heart out. It wasn't classified as cool or whatever you want to say it was, you know? So that's a testament to you guys. That's really cool.
And I think it's important too. I mean, we're five American men.
Yep.
On the scope of people in the world that are having a hard time, we're not very high on the list. You know what I mean? But we're still human beings, and for men in general too, like it's still not okay to like be a vulnerable grown man and have emotion or cry or be afraid of things or have like self-doubt or deal with anxiety or depression or any of these things. So it was kind of like once the door opened within ourselves where it was like, wow, look how good this feels to just talk.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I've never been to therapy in my life, but I felt like I gained the same things I would in therapy by talking to my brothers in a recording studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, so it's definitely something that we're trying to push. And like, we are we're a positive band. If you meet us, like, there's no fucking grumps in our band. There's no, we're having a fucking great time. Yeah. We're loving life. Loving being in the band. Like, you see us live, you get it. Like, I always say, like, oh, you listen to our band and you like our band? That's great. Come see us live to really understand, like, who the fuck we are. And really, like, you'll feel yourself in us. You'll see yourself in us. Like, we're just happy-go-lucky dudes. And I think that is more recently been elevated because we just are that open to each other, you know?
Yeah. And it's so important that someone like yourself is saying that because you're setting an example for generations that are coming up to be able to go, well, fuck, if they can do it, I can too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth. Like I said, we're just dudes. Like we've the age of mystique and power in bands and musicians is fucking gone. Like everyone's on Instagram, dude. And if you're not, it's like whatever. But, like, you know, you get boogers too, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we're all fucking human.
It's like we're dudes that were lucky enough to find each other and create art that was good enough to make a career out of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, but like, we're just people. Like, you guys could do this shit too. Like, but, you know, we just put everything we had into it. So it's, I'm losing my train of thought. We're just on this wave of positivity.
Yeah, but, this is good. Write it. Yeah, love it. I need this first thing in the morning. I'm guessing, what time is it where you are?
I know. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So early evening.
Yep, nice.
Yeah.
It's almost 9 in the morning here, so you put my day on a good start. This is good. I'm going to ride it all the way.
I'm glad.
So in 2028, Atreyu is going to be celebrating 30 years, which is... Oh. I know, it's massive, and it's just something.
You're the first person that's ever fast forwarded.
Oh, sorry. I'm all about the future. You've got to be worldly, you know.
I'm just kidding. That's awesome.
Yeah. But you guys, you should be so proud of what you've accomplished, and you've been such a solid unit throughout the years. So I guess you've kind of touched on what the secret is to keeping that together, which is your brotherhood and what you've been through together and what you've done. What advice would you give your younger self, or what advice do you wish that you received, when you were first starting out?
I think that it's crazy because I don't think I got tons of it. A lot of the shit that we really had to figure out on our own.
Yeah.
Because we weren't even when we had our first kind of wave of popularity, we were not the darlings of the world. People fucking hated us. Even when we started selling out shows and selling records, it was there were so many people that were no, but fuck you guys also. You know what I mean? So there wasn't tons of older peers or our kind of bigger bands that were let me show you the ropes, kid, Yeah. So we kind of had to figure out a lot by ourselves. We made a lot of mistakes when we were coming up. We made a lot of mistakes with just spending dumb amounts of money on things we didn't need and the way we approach different things within the band. And, I think that our biggest kind of valuable lesson that we always still stick to is we have to love this. We have to love every step.
Yep.
We have to love the music we're making. We have to be absolutely in love with what we're doing. We have to love playing shows and love being on tour. We have to be happy with each other, or else it's wrong. It's when it stops being that, then it's no longer, the magic's gone. You know what I mean? So I think that's been our kind of number one, is just and then number two, try not to drop your phone during interviews. No, but that's kind of been our number one, is just make sure that we love this. And if it's too much, or we're burning out, or we need breaks, or you need time today and you don't want to talk to people because you need some time, it's do what everyone needs to do to make sure that we're here for the right reason.
That's absolutely
I think since we've been late teenagers, early 20s, and since our first wave of success, I think that's what's resonating now again, is that I think that in our heads, it's we feel the same things we felt when we were teenagers, and our band was getting big for the first time, and it was holy shit, this is actually happening. I think that same energy is kind of running through us right now. And I think that's why it's resonating with people, that there's this is real. I don't know. I think that it's connecting to people, because it's I don't know, there's something youthful that we feel. And that's weird coming from a 40-year-old dude that is, currently dropping my kids off to Girl Scouts. But I feel in here and on stage and in the studio, I think we feel like fucking teenagers.
Yeah.
And
you guys, you keep it lighthearted. Even your film clips, you're not afraid to take the piss out of yourselves. That Forevermore film clip. That's excellent. I love that. That moment where you and Dan are just standing in the middle and there's no music, and you guys this is great. Fucking had me in stitches. But that's just a perfect example. You guys are happy to do what makes you feel good and just go with your heart.
Yeah. The weird thing is that we keep coming up with these ridiculous drunk ideas, and then one day there's a camera there and we're actually filming them, and we're this is actually happening.
Whose brainchild was this?
Someone paid for this. Someone paid for this. Sweet.
Oh, I love it.
Let me throw my daughter in the pool. Paint abs on my stomach and let's throw my daughter in the pool. Yeah.
Why not? Bring it to fruition.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you could time travel right now and go back to any Atreyu era, what would it be?
Man, that's so tough.
Yeah.
I feel there's two.
Yep.
I feel I would have gone. I'd go back to the Curse, just to feel that that thing for the first time again.
Yeah.
You know? Because, like, although I'm saying it's like we're in that same energy right now, there's nothing like the first time you taste that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like fucking
Absolutely.
Heroin.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I've never done heroin, so I don't know what that feels like, but I'm
I get the
assuming
analogy.
it's similar. Yeah. But, like, it's one of those things where, like, I would love to kind of more approach and see that whole era from more of a bird's eye view, and then, like, maybe focus on some different things, or I don't know, maybe I don't know what I would have done different, but and then I would go back to Lead Sales again, because I think that there was such a mixed emotion within our band when we put out that album.
Yeah.
It was my favorite thing we'd ever done. It still is in my top favorite records we've ever created. For me, it was like the first time a producer like put me on, like, I felt like he put me on like a pedestal.
Yep.
And I felt like I was like, it was the first record where I really felt important.
Cool. Yeah.
And I think that, like, I felt like what we were doing was like so different and fresh and important. And then it came out, and of course it was polarizing. Mm-hmm. So it was literally 50-50 of like, okay, half the people want to murder us for this album, and then half the people are like, they're on board and they're loving it.
Yeah.
It was hard to kind of discern what was winning, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it took years. It took us going away. I remember we went on hiatus, and we came back, and we were like, oh, you know, like, let's give people the old shit. Like, we came back and made Long Live, and like let's try to give people the old shit. Let's write some heavy shit. Yep. That's what they want. They want the curse. Like, let's give them some fucking old shit. And then we started touring again, and everyone just wanted Lead Sales. Yep. And I was like, wait,
hang on.
I thought that was the one that we got shit for back in the day. And if I could again relive that and like try and, I think, make myself and even the rest of the band realize the good that was happening from it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It was hard to get away from the bad. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like, some of the stuff we did on that album cycle was insane. Like, we did like direct support, or like almost, you know, it was like direct support on main stage for Family Values tour with like Korn and Evanescence. We did like, you know, Taste of Chaos with Avenged. Like, we did like arena and amphitheater tours, like most of that touring cycle. It was like the biggest shit we'd ever done, and like radio existed all of a sudden. So like, you know, but I would love to go back and experience that with a little bit of a different lens, you know?
Oh, that's so cool. I honestly put down, I was like, what would I want to revisit if I was them? And I put down The Curse and Lead Sales as well. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because you honestly, you fucking, you shattered my world when that was released. I just, loved it.
Well, I think the rest of it, I really like, you know, Suicide Notes, I was fucking a child. I was a straight up a child. I was 17. I turned 18 on tour. Like, I was a kid in a van, like, not knowing what the fuck I was doing, living off of like $6 a day.
Unreal.
Like, eating fucking, you know. So it was like, oh, I remember that shit. Like, I fully lived that. You know what I mean? It's like, when you start to get a little bit more comfortable and things start going good, it's like almost that's when it becomes a little bit more blurry. Yeah. You know, so it's like, it'd be cool to go relive those moments.
Yep. Speaking of blurry, I want to take you back to the Avenged Sevenfold, Bullet for My Valentine, Atreyu tour of 2008. Now, I've heard rumours...
My liver hurts thinking about it.
I heard rumours you guys got absolutely fucked and obliterated. Like, I can only piece you guys together and imagine what you come up with. Is this far from the truth, and do you have any stories you can tell me? Now, the kids are out of the car, I hope.
Fucking absolutely true. That was the most drunk I've ever been on any tour in my life. I mean, the Avenged dudes are still, like, some of mine and my wife's best friends to this day. And that was kind of, like, not new in our friendship, but, like, the first couple years of our friendship, maybe. And we had also toured with the Bullet dudes a handful of times, and the problem is, when you tour in the States, it's like everyone's on their own bus, everyone's in their own dressing rooms kind of thing. You have, like, a little bit of separation, you know what I mean? When we tour in Australia, it's like we're all in the same fucking hotel. Everyone's at the same lobby bar. You're in the same flight every day, the same bus to the same flight. Yeah. I remember every morning it was like the Terror Twins, like Jimmy and Johnny from Avenged would like come on the bus. Jimmy's like singing opera at the top of his lungs at like 7 a.m. Half the bus is like not into it. half the bus is really into it. And like, you know, like it was just chaos. Like I remember one of the shows, one of the last shows was in New Zealand, and it was like we're in the lobby bar, and it was like, cool guys, we're closed, and there was like 30 of us in there, and I was like, no, you're not, and the bar just ended up staying open because we wouldn't leave. Like, it was just like, no, like, oh, we'll let you know when you're closed. I think Johnny and Jimmy might have emptied the mini bar and stabbed the bottles into the wall in their room that night. It might have been them. But it was a beautiful time. Beautiful time. Everything that you could imagine was
happened.
real.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, like that show Cheers? It's like, that. I don't know if I'm familiar with that show Cheers from like the 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
It's like you could just like, you know, if you went to the bar, you went to Cheers, you're going to run into people you know.
Yeah.
That was like, it would be a day off and it'd be like 8:30, 9. Like, I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but I bet if I go to the lobby bar, someone's going to hand me a drink and it's going to do something. Yeah. Like, we're going to go somewhere. Someone's going to be down there.
You're going to fucking send
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was rough. We still like, that goes down in history for, I think all three bands is one of the most blurry, painful tours we've ever done in our life.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
And it was only like a week and a half long.
Yeah. If you can. I'm surprised you remember it, actually.
Good times.
Yeah, well done.
I want to do it again, to be honest. Now that we talk about it, we should just do that same tour again.
Can you please, actually? That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do.
Our livers can handle it, but I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Up for the challenge.
So you just announced, I think, a couple of hours ago, actually, you're on the lineup for Rockfest, which is ironically headlined by country superstar Jelly Roll.
Dude, Jelly Roll can go anywhere he wants and dominate. He is,
isn't he?
He is omnipotent.
Yeah.
Like he can go, he can do no wrong.
Yeah, no kidding. He's literally awesome. He's gold. There's some huge names on that lineup. What band are you stoked to be sharing the stage with, or is there some that you have before and you can't wait to see them again, or?
Dude, I'm stoked because we always get on festivals with Shinedown, and we never play the day of Shinedown.
Yeah.
And like those are homies, and I never I've seen them. We go to their shows, but we never play the same day as them. So really stoked for that. I think we're on the same day as Parkway, which will be sick.
Yeah, cool.
I've never seen them before.
Cool. Nice.
I saw them back. We did what was it called? What the fuck was it called? Some festival in Australia.
No Sleep Till.
No Sleep Till.
I remember because you gypped Perth, and I lived in Perth at the time, and I was like, I finally get to see Atreyu, and you didn't come to Perth.
That one wasn't our fault. We didn't choose that. But,
I forgive you.
But the last time I saw them live was like in that era where they were like it was like more, they were like surfed out and not of their magnitude yet. Yeah. So I haven't seen like the modern day gargantuan that is Parkway. So I'm excited for that for sure.
They're huge. They absolutely
And Beartooth's on our day too. We're never on the Beartooth day either. Oh, and I always love hanging with those dudes, so that'd be fun
cool.
too.
Nice. All right, well, it's no bloody secret that I absolutely love you guys. I've followed you from day dot. Literally, I've lost my voice trying to catch up with you singing in my car on the way to work. And I don't think there's honestly been a week you guys haven't played in my house or car or anything like that. So I'll be front and center in Brisbane because I actually haven't seen you guys yet. So I'm so fucking excited. I'll be there. But everyone can get tickets from either silverbacktouring.com.au or atreyuofficial.com. And you'll be here as of the 17th of Feb, starting in Perth.
Do not wait, because the last time we were in Australia, people waited, and it was a bummer for them, and most of those last shows sold out, and I want all of the same to happen this time, but I don't want you people to be disappointed. Yeah. So go get your tickets now.
Right on. You heard him, folks. Get in there. All right. Thank you so much, man. That was an absolute pleasure. It was so good to meet you. All right. And,
for sure. Thanks for having me. We'll see you in Brisbane.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.